Those frisbees, you had a chance to throw a couple in. Now, you were telling me a story earlier in the week about how, you went to Walmart, you bought those 6 frisbees, you're bringing them to All In, you don't even know if you're going to use them. You sure as hell did.
Well, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Because if I'm going to be a baby face or a good guy, frisbees was my gimmick. And as a heel, I didn't throw frisbees. But, the thing is, I stole the idea from Al Costello and Roy Heffernan, the fabulous Kangaroos. Their manager was Wild Red Berry. You can go on YouTube and see their matches from the 1960s. Mm-hmm. They both had boomerangs carved by Aborigines. You couldn't throw that to the audience; you'll kill somebody. Yeah. But they had cardboard. I don't know what it was made of: pressed paper, cardboard, stock paper. I don't know what it was, but they had like heavy paper boomerangs with the pictures of Roy Heffernan, Al Costello, information about them, in small font. And they would throw those to the audience. And the reason I remember is because my brother and I were boys, and we used to run and scamper for those boomerangs. And I knew, as a fan, how exciting it was to have somebody throw something from the ring. So when I became Leaping Lanny, the poet laureate of wrestling, I made all these poems, and I rolled them into scrolls, and I threw that from the ring. Well, I couldn't get it over the guardrail. So I'm saying, well, this is a big flop. And I said, maybe what else could I do? And I said, well, what's going to fly? And I said, I can't do boomerangs because I'm not Australian. And then all of a sudden, it hit me. Frisbees, yeah. And I went to the printing place and had poetry put on the frisbee. I'll tell you what the poem was. The World Wrestling Federation has caused a culture shock in every phase of our society, from classical to rock. In triumphant jubilation, every social class is won with a single common interest, just to have a little fun. I've seen the rapture in the eyes of fans from every nation. You made us what we are today, World Wrestling Federation. And I just want to say, I've written a lot of poems, but I felt that was like one of my best ones, because it took the essence of why is it so great to be a wrestling fan? Just to have a little fun. That's all they want. So if famous dick wrestler Joey Ryan wasn't having so much fun out there, how come the people almost, I hate to use the pun, but they almost popped the roof off the place. You know what I mean? It was like, it was orgasmic when he came out there. Those fans enjoyed it. And then you got all these internet trolls saying, oh, that was wrong and everything. Yeah, you know what? Lighten up. Enjoy yourself.
That's right. I'm going to go into a question. I actually had this sent in to us earlier in the week, but it comes along with your Frisbee story. H1Z1_Swizzle on Reddit said, I don't remember the exact date, but it was in the 80s when he saw you in Boston as Leaping Lanny Poffo. You were throwing those Frisbees into the crowd when he unintentionally caught a Frisbee to the face. I think he says, I think you saw it happen because you had a grimace on your face, like, ooh, that had to hurt. And he wishes he had that Frisbee. He doesn't anymore. Do you have any memories of taking out members of the audience with your Frisbees?
Oh, you're going to get people ideas to litigate. But there was one time in Long Island, Nassau Coliseum, Uniondale, Long Island. By the way, I've been there like 5 times in the last 3 months. I was there the day I met you.
That's right.
Because Evan Ginsberg lives in Queens, and we hung out. We had a great time, and who'd have thought it would culminate to this, huh?
That's right. Life works in strange ways.
But anyway, many years ago in Uniondale, Long Island, I threw Frisbees to the audience, and a big guy reached for a Frisbee and knocked over a little guy. And I felt terrible, that the Frisbee didn't do the damage, but it was the reaching for the Frisbee by a big bully against a weaker person. It was a little rough, but I hate thinking about it. I'm just trying to make the fans happy, that's all. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. And a Frisbee to the mouth is not the worst thing in the world.
If any of our listeners actually have a frisbee that they got from the audience from Lanny, send it in to us at thegeniuscast at prowrestlingstories.com, or you can send it to our social media accounts at thegeniuscast or at Lanny Poffo. It would be fun to see a picture and share it on our social media accounts so that they could see the frisbee and the poem attached if it's still there.
Oh, yeah, well, these poems were embossed on the frisbee. I would write something on the other side, and signed a lot of them. They sold them for $3 a piece at the venues, and I would always go there and sign them. And I used to get a nickel a frisbee, and I've got so many nickels now you wouldn't believe it.
Because you are quite frugal, as we learned in the first episode.
No, just sensible.
Sensible. That's a better way to put
yes.
it.
Oh, yeah!